This video is brought to you by Clean My Mac X. Over the years, I've put together over 30 desk setups, and with each and every one of them, I've learned something new. And by new, I mean I've learned what doesn't work for me. See, as a creator, someone who deals with video editing and graphic work, I always seek the perfect balance between versatility and focus. A balance where extra monitors doesn't necessarily mean improvement. Take this 4-in-1 experiment I did in January, for example. Surely it looked dope, and it kind of worked for me for over 6 months, but I never managed to feel at home working on it. The top monitor was too far off, the entire desk felt as if I've put my living room on top of it, and the speakers, although versatile, did not deliver. The bottom stacked scenario I tried last year, where a full-size bottom display leans on the desk, didn't work for me either because the monitor took way too much real estate and it had too steep of an angle. Having experimented further, I gave up and I came back to something that I accidentally put together a while back, only to improve on it. This creator setup is Mac-oriented, but it just as easily works on Windows. All I have to do is plug in just a single cable to wake up my Mac in a dual monitor scenario or connect something like the Surface Pro to achieve a very similar Microsoft result. Now the desk itself is nothing special. I use standard issue motorized legs that came with 3 memory presets. The tabletop is from IKEA and I believe it's called Trotten. Very inexpensive, 63-inch wide, white, thin, yet very durable. That's actually the reason I picked it. This specific skew lamination can withstand a lot of abuse, and I'm saying that from experience. And the fact that it's white will guarantee me that I won't be distracted when it comes to, dust. The missing piece in my situation was a proper cable management system. One that will allow me to tie down a power outlet and get a hold of all the cables, leaving me with just a single one that I need to run down to the power outlet. What makes this setup work is the large Balolo shelf, which I've featured plenty of times in different scenarios. Now, before you jump into conclusions, Balolo are not paying me to say anything. I simply talk about them because I really believe that they have one of the most unique desk shelving systems out there. The modular mounting grid system underneath has allowed me to play around with various layouts throughout the years, and what I did here works for a setup that is tucked away in a corner. To give you a better understanding, take the laptop dock for example. You can put it on either side or even mount it on the back, something that we recently did for a friend of mine in a desk setup makeover episode, which I'll link at the end of this video. In my case, I kept the floating laptop dock on the left side, having placed a headphone holder opposite of it for symmetry. The provided attachment mounts are very cleverly designed with included routing holes for cable management, which is very neat and tiny because it allows you to pretty much hide and conceal all the cables out of sight, out of mind, and achieve a very aesthetic end result. Of course, additional vertical storage is yet another reason for thinking in the direction of a desk shelving unit like this. In the case of my Balolo, I've installed 2 compartments. The first one holds a tray where I can throw in some tools, notebooks, and other stuff, and the second is much larger, ready to accommodate some of my other devices, while still leaving plenty of extra space underneath for other dailies. Perhaps my favorite addition here is my dedicated Elgato Stream Deck mount, which I can use to control the lights and, of course, shortcuts. Right smack in the middle, I've placed perhaps my oldest Balolo attachment, which is in fact a smartphone holder. I, however, use it for my iPad, which is an older generation at this point. With a very questionable battery life, this 11-inch tablet remains kind of a, permanent fixture here, which is actually in no way a demotion. It not only gives me quick access to my pencil to, let's say, jot something down or sign a document, but more importantly, it allows me to run universal control to jump between iPad OS and the Mac on the fly, and when it gets to editing, I can just throw my video library in there, leaving me with plenty of real estate on the main monitor. Now, I can easily achieve a very similar result with my Microsoft Surface Pro, which I can either use in clamshell mode, placing it in the dock, or just prop it on the holder front and center. Honestly, I don't believe things could be more organized at this point. There's plenty of storage everywhere, without things looking cluttered, and all the gear is protected as it just floats. In addition to keeping everything organized on the outside, I'm just as dedicated to maintaining a spotless Mac on the inside. For years, I've trusted CleanMy Mac X, and if you're unfamiliar with it, you should know that it's a fantastic all-in-one tool that simplifies the process of cleaning out various types of junk such as incomplete downloads, cache files, and others. With just a single click, this Smart Scan feature cleans, protects, and optimizes my Mac's performance. However, I particularly want to highlight the menu app, which is super handy, providing tips and reminders like weekly cleanup prompts, suggestions to properly uninstall apps instead of simply dragging them to the trash, and warnings such as overfilled trash folders or cluttered external drives. Additionally, I use the menu app to monitor my computer's performance in real time, like live memory usage, a feature that is incredibly useful during massive video exports. Plus, it provides assistance when dealing with unresponsive apps. There are plenty of other features worth mentioning, like CleanMy Mac X's proactive malware protection, but I'll let you discover those for yourself. Try CleanMy Mac X with a 7-day free trial, and don't forget to use my promo code ThisIsE20 for 20% off by following the first link in the description below. One upside of having played with various accessories over the years is the fact that I can learn what works for me and what doesn't. The most enjoyable part is discovering items that are more than reasonably priced and such that over-deliver at the same time, and the speakers, in the case of this setup, are a perfect example. The first pair of these Edifier R1280DBs were actually sent to me by Edifier themselves a long time ago, and they're currently commissioned on the desk of Chris, the channel editor. While he was using them, I kept swapping and trying different alternatives only to pull the plug and purchase a second pair for my own desk because honestly, they are that good. These are powered speakers, meaning they don't need an external amplifier or receiver to produce sound. They are self-contained audio systems requiring only power source and an audio signal from a device. Now that could be Bluetooth, which doesn't work for me because of lag, so they are wired into my docking station. This time I picked the classic wood finish, which I believe complements the American walnut shelf perfectly. As a video editor, I find those $160 speakers striking the perfect balance between clear highs, rich mids, and deep, punchy bass without distortion even at high volumes. Two legacy items that I've been bringing along throughout various desk setups are the BenQ ScreenBar and the Insta360 Link camera. Now, the BenQ ScreenBar is the Halo model, and it is the light that I rely on when I need to light up the things late at night. It's very quirky, and it's actually very nice because it comes with this little puck controller, which I can use to control the brightness, turn it on and off, and also the Insta360 Link, which is my favorite desk setup camera because it allows for, easy tracking and of course beautiful 4K quality, which just stands out in sporadic meetings. Another item that I tried to replace on my desk many times is the Apple Studio display. Unlike the Edifiers, this is not a reasonably priced product. In fact, it's quite expensive. The fact that it's not versatile doesn't help it either. It doesn't have a VESA mount unless you specify it with one upon purchasing it. It can only connect to one source, preferably a mag, and if you want adjustability, you have to cough $2,000. Surely, there are better alternatives out there. So I thought. Having spent months at a time with various color-accurate displays, I kept missing the studio display like crazy. In fact, recently, I even pulled the plug and bought the massively praised LG Ultra Gear 32GS95UE. This is an OLED beast that can deliver up to 240Hz refresh rate in 4K and even 480Hz in 1080p for those competitive junkies out there. Yet, I put it back in the box. Why? Because I don't trust it. With the studio display, there's no random flickering or sudden loss of brightness in the middle of the work. The colors always look 100% the same, especially when I edit something only to watch it on another device later. There's no struggle of insufficient brightness I need to worry about. This 5K panel just works. Surprisingly, it works on Windows as well. In fact, it looks amazing. But I cannot control the brightness levels of the display unless I go through some hoops of installing bootcamp drivers. I can, however, control the volume, which is great. And I gotta say, Windows in 5K is rather fascinating. Of course, I have to give credit where credit is due, and that goes to the CalDigit TS4 dock. This little Thunderbolt guy packs 18 ports of connectivity, which basically doesn't allow me to run out of ports. Pretty much the entire setup runs through it, and it is the thing that I can lean towards the most throughout the day. Whether that is to plug in an SD card to dump footage, or to connect an external drive to transfer files, or mouse, or simply charge something. Unlike other docks that might allocate power based on how many devices are connected, the CalDigit's power supply will always provide the full 98 watts of power delivery and will not drop in performance even when your devices are connected. Now, to tackle all my charging needs on the desk, I've placed Nomad's Stand 1 Max charger, which is an upgrade from the previous version, the Stand 1, which was just an iPhone charger, a very elegant one, by the way. This one takes the best traits of it, but it allows me now to charge 3 things at the same time: AirPods or any other pair of earbuds, of course the Apple Watch, and the iPhone in a beautiful standby mode. Fantastic. In order to be device independent, meaning using a mouse and a keyboard no matter the laptop that is plugged in, I've connected my peripherals directly to the TS4. In my case, the mouse I came back to is the Logitech G502 Lightspeed. Despite its gaming origins, this wireless gaming mouse is perfect for productivity in my opinion, delivering super accurate results in situations where I need to rely on the pen tool to mask an object or track something in editing. Just like the beloved MX Master 3S, it has customizable buttons galore, and the ergonomic design ensures all-day comfort for me. The keyboard that I will have really hard time moving away from at some point is the iQunix Magi 65 Pro. This aluminum low-profile mechanical keyboard is only 11mm thick, which is the sweet spot for me. It's a 65% layout, which has its quirks for people like me who type in more than just English, but it works more than fine for 99% of my needs. This is a super premium product, which in person looks even better than what I can potentially convey on camera, yet it's reasonably priced. Aside from the immense pleasure of typing on it, my giggles also come from interacting with the super tactile rotary knob that allows for precise volume adjustment and, of course, the additional media controls that come in handy on many occasions. I was pleasantly surprised to see the massive variety of accessories that came in the package, including awesome extra keycaps and a very premium coiled cable. iQunix, by the way, is one of the awesome companies that have joined my cool discounts page initiative. If you're looking to grab the Magi 65 or another fantastic keyboard from iQunix, feel free to check it out below. Also, the desk pad that I use is by Balolo, and they're offering an impressive 10% discount store-wide. So if you had your eye on their full cockpit shelf system, now is a great time to consider it. Alternatively, you can visit thisise.tech/discounts to explore all the deals available. Now, if for some reason a tablet is not enough for a dual monitor setup, the next best thing in my opinion is this: the LG Dual Up, which is this very unique monitor that works just as good in a layout like this. In fact, I have a video about it which you can just check out right here. Like and subscribe to the channel, as well as my newsletter, and as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. This is E, over and out.